back, finish his boots right now. This sets him up for an early purple buff invade. The only concern is if Netrioid gets caught out in the 2v1.
Right. Well, Netrioid was able to sidestep the last impale, but not this one. The damage just not there just yet. But not ideal, right? If you want to rotate in onto the purple buff that's about to be respawning, Netrioid is half HP, so that might slow down the ability to immediately go and invade purple. Not that Genetics was in. Ultimate's going to be right around the corner as well. Can bail himself out with that if need be. Genetics on his world tour, now back over on the left-hand side of the map. Beads to start off here for the Ymirs. Won't be able to close the gap as quickly. Emelito holding on to the leap. And has it paid off? Yes, it has for the moment, but Captain Twig has rotated in. Impale back in Genetics. Grabs first blood for the Camelot Kings.
Man, it's such a crazy duo lane start here for the Kings. I feel like I could talk for the next 15 minutes about how the first four have gone.
Probably more than we've seen any of the other two hunters match up with one another, so maybe some solos happening there as Genetics looks for an engage onto Raffer here on the right-hand side. Beautiful wall keeps Genetics right where he's at. Remains to be seen if that's where you want it to be. Ducky cavalry charge into the wall, but Genetics down into the earth. He goes for just a little bit of damage. But the Valkyries just shy of their first kill of the game, and it's Raffer, the other support now, who's on the board as Variety chases down Johnny and gets another.
Zero's up into that Taiko drums, but it feels like a little too late. But maybe he's baited himself. Tings on the rotation gets his one interrupted, but Zero's still taking a ton of damage on the back end. It's a double kill for Variety.
And King Arthur does King Arthur things here. Variety's going to be able to walk away with low HP and low mana. Big man Tings, he wants more, though. Leaps on in as the Tiamat finds the damage onto Ducky off the side. But it looks like Raffer and Ducky will both be able to survive right around this blue buff. Another one dropped now for the Camelot Kings, and that's a big 2-for-1 spell rotations off. This Tiamat can impact those fights.
Definitely, and the way Tings played that, I think, is the way that you're going to see most Tiamats be the most successful, is Netrioid uses ult and beads and only gets Raffer's ultimate in return. That's a good trade for Raff on the left.
Oh man, Johnny gets triple blasted there by the Tiamat out of the mid lane, and it's been a tough start now for the Ao Kuang, and that's just the combination of Twig and Genetics. That's what we've seen time and time and time again, and wouldn't you know it, they're back inside. There hasn't been much of an emphasis on the left until now, where a sneaky Gold Fury gets started up. Netrioid's going to rotate over from the duo lane here. Captain Twig off to the right-hand side as well. It's burning quickly, and the Valhalla Valkyries will grab the first Gold Fury of the game. But Captain Twig now right back in. He's found the engage. Zeros has found the first death. Raffer's found the second. The Kings punish the Valkyries for starting the Fury.
And that just took too long to develop. I like the idea from the Valkyries. You cannot fight on the right-hand side. Raffer goes toward red. You've got an isolated 2v1 on that side of the map. Why let him get the buff on his own?
Man, Ducky can just not breathe in this game, can he? It's now another engage from Captain Twig. The Windfire Wheel is going to be successful this time.
Up again.
Ducky down to the ground, up once more. And Captain Twig will pick up the kill. This one really starting to spiral out of control. We're looking at a 3,500 gold lead. 14 minutes into the game. Raffer looking for the Whirlwind of Rage and Steel, but luckily Netrioid able to avoid it. Luckily if you're a Kings fan. Now maybe some pressure though around this purple buff. Johnny successful on the invade, but Netrioid doing his best to turn around what looks like a 3v1. Is he going to get one of them? He sure is. It's the Impale against the wall. Emelito gets a silver lining kill. Down goes the Heimdall for the first time this game.
Yeah, Johnny just decided to eat that entire ability from Tiamat right off the bat, and then still. This is where Tiamat feels super oppressive, is where she's so far ahead that she can jump in and use all the new buttons, use that mitigation, and actually feel very, very strong.
Netrioid's going to dash away from Emelito here, but Genetics with a beautiful wall keeps Emelito out of it. And then another ultimate and another kill for the Ymir, and gets worse over on the right-hand side. Now it's Johnny who falls down over to Variety in that tier 2 tower. It's going to start to get some pressure put on it in the mid lane. Nothing better. Raffer, 10% HP as Big Man Tings and Twig try to combine for a kill onto the Xing Qin, but plenty tanky enough, and that's going to open up the left side of the map to the Camelot Kings. Tier 2 tower likely to fall.
Double stun. Zeros eats his whole health bar from Big Man Tings and Variety. Variety eats no damage from the tier 2 tower whatsoever. Look, I mean, I think the draft for the Kings was really, really solid. I think if
Engage onto Emilito, who's on the right-hand side. That's not where you want to be, my friend.
That's
It's a
done.
double freeze from Genetics on the back side, but the Camelot Kings get slowed down now on their onslaught. Ducky just trying to peel out for the rest of his team. Looks like Blue Buff did end up going over to Ducky here. This time, big man Tings. Big man fight in the mid lane. 2v1, no problem. Now it's a killing spree for the Tiamat, near complete build where Zero's a full item behind. Charon's coin is a pretty hefty item to be behind. Over to the Fire Giant. It was only a matter of time for the Camelot Kings to start this one up. Raffer close by in the background. Variety, Ducky dueling it out. Raffer stuck his head into the wrong part of town. Somebody on the Kings will grab this kill, and it's going to be Netrioid. And there's an engage on the Ducky on the back.
Great wall from Genetics. Stop me if you've heard that one before, as Emilito forced to jump away. Tings on the chase alongside Twig. That Minotaur will slow down Ducky, and Tings going to claim his fourth. I don't mind the Valkyries sticking their head.
So the Alquang will have to leave as the Minotaur chases him down. And then the rest of the Camelot Kings will walk on in towards this mid lane Phoenix. Right side tier 2 tower still stands. Genetics does not care. It's an engage on the back. Big stun though on a couple of members of the Camelot Kings, and damage being returned now by Ducky, but Ducky stepped too far forward. Big man Tings rampaging through this game. 23 minutes in, spin to win from Raffer sends Variety off to the side, but that's given Variety carte blanche to the back line. Johnny evaporates, as do the Valhalla Valkyries' chance of winning game number 1 here. Camelot Kings storm the gates 5 strong.
And it could not have been easier for them. I mean, you're talking about a 23-minute domination from the Camelot Kings here in game number 1. The Johnny Alquang, it's awesome when it gets to late game, but this is the SPL diff right here. It's a little bit different at this level.
Well, Titan goes down, Camelot Kings stay up 1-0 over the Valhalla Valkyries. 7:03 is where Big Man Tings.
The other way around. We'll see if Emilito's able to get out of laning phase for free here. I'm interested in that.
Raffer's just been eating these stuns. Dodges the first, and that's maybe the one stun dodge off his punch card that he's able to redeem here. Captain Twig rotates early over to the mid lane, as the junglers tend to do. Ducky is low here as well. Lots of kill potential across the map here just for a moment, but Set likely able to sustain up on the other side of things here. Big man Tings on this Merlin. It's a bit of up there on the duo side of the map as Genetics gets this late pick Yamoja, which I think Finch was rightly surprised about. But we've seen, you know, the rise of the Emir, the Sobek, the Athena. Finch listed them all off there. And with that, maybe open up the door for Yamoja to kind of fall down in some of these drafts a little bit. And Variety finally completes the solo kill potential on a Ducky that's been hanging out just kind of like a fly on the wall throughout the early part of this game. Ducky's just been so low beneath his own tower, and Variety plays.
This fight is so much better than when they had that Alquang and Raijin. Now you've got Tiamat and Nemesis, and those two are going to fight pretty well, so you don't necessarily want to be picking fights just for free.
Johnny drops the ultimate onto Variety. Variety makes it beneath the tier 1 tower. The damage is there. Ducky, a couple tower shots to spare. Able to escape from the tier 1 tower. Now the Valhalla Valkyrie successful in shutting down this King Arthur. Important to find the pressure over here on the right-hand side before here as often.
Well, it's pretty easy if Twig ends up going over there because of that Brutalize just following through that getting out so easily.
Good point.
On the ganks. But Twig's looking mid instead.
Yeah, Zeros has to leap away. Oh, it's a beautiful Riptide from Genetics. And Zeros locked right into the River's Rebuke, and now Captain Twig and Genetics both tossed back by Raffer, but no damage there on the follow-up. Let's see what Johnny can do here, and farming up the wave is about it. It's one clean pick over to the Kings.
Man, unfortunate that left him dead there. He had the melee form ultimate, which gives you CC immunity. Definitely should have been able to use it to just waltz right out of that trap, but ends up using it too late, gets bounced back, and ultimately falls victim, which opens up this Gold Fury for the Kings.
Camelot Kings grab the Gold Fury. Raffer was close by, but no chance to steal it away. So now 9 minutes into the game, looking about a 1.7k gold lead for the Camelot Kings. Definitely not back-breaking, but not a great trend. Out of the pullback from the Merlin, but Big Man Tings survives. Johnny holds his beads, Big Man Tings does not. So not all is lost there on the attempted kill from Johnny.
But the pressure is here from the Valkyries. I mean, they're whittling down this tier 1 in mid. I like the idea. Great stun onto Twig, but Twig stun out Rapper.
Oh, it's
Good
again!
bump
He did
back
it!
from
did
Genetics, and that's going to get the kill. Genetics has been on point with those Riptides here in Game 2.
Yeah, Yamoja, 8th pick, or whatever that was, by the way. Genetics thanking the Valkyries for giving this crystal. And that'll be the end of this 1v1. Ultimates used on one side, not the other. Yamoja in behind. Emilito now on the left-hand side. Ducky being chased down over here on the right-hand side. It's a perfect Rivers Rebuke from Genetics here. Emilito uses the ultimate, but death awaits on the other side. Ducky goes down on right. Agar, there's too much to keep up with, and unfortunately for the Valkyries, it's too much from the Kings.
They probably heard, oh, I'm dead, on both sides of the map at the exact same time. This time, it's more of a mechanical display from Genetics, which is encouraging to see. Remember, it's not just the Valkyries playing on the EU ping, Genetics is as well, and he's making it look easy.
That's right, and Captain Twig absolutely has been there on this Fenrir here. Ducky will suffer another death, this time at the hands of Variety. 2-1-1 for the King Arthur, 0-3 for Ducky on this set. And now Captain Twig on the Fenrir improves to 2-0-2. So while there's been pressure from Genetics on one side, Captain Twig has been split here on the other. The Fenrir's looked good, could get worse now for the Valkyries. Variety hit that ultimate, but still might end up going down. Whirlwind of Rage and Steel catches onto Genetics. The stun just shy. Variety wanting to chase this one down, though. Will get the slow, the sweeping damage is there, and of course, Variety will grab the kill. And the Kings get the Pyromancer. In the meantime, this is too hard to cheer one because there's just too much going on. Finally, a bit of respite for the Valkyries, and it's Johnny who will pick up the second kill of the game.
Nice try by Netrioid, but just too much of a commit from the Valkyries on the left-hand side, able to take down the Heim.
Is that weeks 2, or is that 2 or 3 weeks? Last week was 1.
Are you trying to do math?
The week before that was 2.
Right. Okay.
Oh God. Well, never do math on cast aggro. I can't count back 2 weeks here. So let's try to avoid that. Now for the 3rd week in a row, Rapper's going to use the Whirlwind of Rage and Steel. Twig nearly dies, but Emilito looks like he'll be the first to go down. Had the Aegis not saved his life, it's a beautiful Riptide, though, from Genetics. Johnny held in place by Variety. Emilito out of the fight, uses the ultimate to just get some of that last-ditch damage in there, but here comes Tings, and Tiggs will get the lowly 1 kill here in this one.
Yeah, it's just the front line here for the Kings doing it all, man. I mean, between Variety and Genetics, those two are just dominating everybody to kill a tank.
Yep.
But Johnny needs to be there and be present. He's the only one who can really make plays at this point in the build and where this game layout is. And he's going to try and make a play on the left-hand side, but that's a Heim. This character feels nearly impossible to game.
Emilito gets sent to the nether realm by Netrioid. Johnny will not finish off the kill, and Emilito splats back down to earth. Johnny brought right back into the range of damage, and Captain Twig now on a killing spree here in this game. This is just how it happens, isn't it? Where like 1 kill starts happening, and then 2 or 3 start happening elsewhere, and the Camelot Kings just winning their individual battles, and they're not even in these big, massive team fights. It's a gank over to left, you get another pick there in mid. Valkyries trying the FG. Maybe Hail Marys. Get them typed in, but don't send them just yet. We'll see what happens here as the Fire Giant is low. Captain Twig reads it, pulls Johnny right back into the fray. The Rivers Rebuke will reset the FG, and the Valkyries will get the objective. Captain Twig gets the first. Netrioid with the second. Maybe even the third as Ducky goes for a round-trip flight. You get the FG, but at what cost?
Costs you 3 and maybe the game. No, their respawn timers are too short, I think, for the Camelot Kings to end outright unless they get more picks from here. Again, it's the
helping that left side Phoenix respawn here. Johnny just farming up over in the mid. Look for the leap in from Captain Twig. That's been the start button for this Camelot Kings, and yet again, he's found his way. This time into the backline. Zero's pulled right back into the fray, but the Tiamat stays alive. Rapper barely by the skin of his teeth still in the fight, and look at the Rivers Rebuke from Genetics. No escape from the base for the rest of the Valkyries. It's a 2v5 on the backline, and the Kings will gladly take those odds. Rapper escapes with his life. The Phoenix maybe not so.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that the Titan is going to escape from here. Twig just carry beads and walked out none the weaker. Impressive stuff from the Kings here to kick off our Friday.
Left side Phoenix died to the fire minions in the meantime. The game Balancing on the edge here, maybe not so. If you're the Camelot Kings, 5 strong, into the base they go. Johnny doing some good damage to Twig, but Netrioid has won the battle against Reffer. Zeros get stunned out by Variety, and the King Arthur onslaught continues until the bitter end. The Titan will fall, the Camelot Kings stand strong. They'll take the set 2-0.
And that was about as easy as it can get, it felt like.
Is that faster than game 1?